Recording. And recording.
Okay. Welcome back to Cheating, the Tripod series. So all of us, all three, have cheated while with each other. But really it was because of those cheating experiences, those experiences of infidelity, what we learned, and how we adapted, that we were really able to strengthen our relationship and make it that much more unbreakable today. So if you were tuned in to number 2 of this series, you know that Jeff elaborated on his cheating experience with Tanya, and we teased y'all a little bit about my cheating experience with Akwesi, which we all promised is probably the juiciest of them all. So if y'all are ready to hear about it, stay tuned.
You can hide it, 'cause I feel you, never let you go. Boy, I know our love is strong, even when sunlight turns to stone.
All right, y'all. So I am going to talk about my cheating experience with Akwesi. And of course, with Matthew and Tanya and even Akwesi, we have changed everyone's name to keep those people anonymous.
Yes.
Anonymous, safe. All right, y'all. So I had just celebrated my 33rd birthday at the time, which was my cutoff in my mind for having a baby. I'm still shackled in the closet by Letitia and Jeff, and I'm desperately yearning for the opportunity to conceive my baby girl. However, Letitia was still very adamant about me not getting pregnant by Jeff, because that would still mean that we would have to be completely out of the closet. And I'm always coming up with these great ideas. And so at the time, I hatched a plan to get pregnant by someone else. This isn't just anybody else. This isn't like, let me go to a sperm bank. This is someone that even at the time I had more than 20 years of history with. And honestly, it was the only other person in life other than Jeff that I believed at the time to still be ultimately my soulmate. So, like we mentioned, T knew something about it because she was on board with this idea. But we hadn't said anything to Jeff because we felt like it would have been premature. At the end of the day, first, I needed to check in with him and see if he was actually on board for this idea. So Letitia and I talk about it, around my birthday, which is November 30th, 2014. And in January 2015, I go out of town for a girlfriend's birthday party, which is the same area that he lives in, right? I didn't have plans definitively to see him, but I did honestly hope that I was going to be able to make it happen. So I get in contact with him, and he comes to my girlfriend's party, and we talk very vulnerably, where we connect, and he's telling me that, yes, he is, wanting to still have more children, but his wife doesn't want to have more children. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's perfect because I still want to have my baby girl, and my wife really doesn't want me to have her with Jeff. And so maybe we can make this work for how we're both set up in life right now, right? However, I didn't really go into all of the proposal at that time. I just allowed myself to reconnect with him, enjoy him for that night at this party. We danced, honestly, we kissed, we did not have sex, but really it was still considered cheating even at that time for me. So I did tell T about having him to come to the party, but we still haven't told Jeff anything because we still haven't really broached the conversation with him in depth. So again, T has an inkling, but I didn't tell Jeff anything. So to be clear, that still constitutes cheating, even in a polyamorous relationship. But at the end of the day, I was really excited at the prospect, And he and I did make plans to see each other again when I returned to his city the following month, because I knew I was going out there in February of 2015. So I'm back in town in 2015. I'm at an event with some friends, and we knew that we were going to connect, and he lets me know, we're texting each other, and he's like, listen, I left my keys at a work site, and he asked me if I would take the ride with him so that we could have plenty of time to talk, because I was like, I really have something I want to talk with you in depth about. And so this ride was going to be a couple of hours, and we decided that that would work. Well, the day went on, and we ended up having to leave later. So going into the Keys with him also meant that I was going to be spending the night with him, which I felt like at the time I had it in control. I wasn't going to sleep with him. We were just going to talk. And we talked and we talked and we talked. And then one thing led to another. And then we did more than talk. And then I was full-fledged in cheating. Yeah. And honestly, my friends warned me. And I promised, no, nothing is going to happen. We're just going to talk. But as it does in these situations, one thing leads to the next. So the other moral of this part of the story is, don't get yourself involved in compromising situations. Anyway, the morning after, I was physically sick. I was physically sick with guilt. Everything inside of me felt awful. I knew I had to talk to my partners about it. And I just remember drinking water and like not wanting to eat anything heavy, just eating like bananas and trail mix and just like, okay, I'm gonna have to have this conversation. I'm gonna have to have this conversation, right? So, he really did try to make me feel a little bit better about it, and he ended up being the one that took me to the airport, but we went out, we had lunch, we talked some more, and then he dropped me off at the airport, and I came home and had to face Jeff and Letitia. Come on in, Jeff.
Did you actually physically go
Yes,
with him
we physically-
and see him? Oh, there goes my
Yes,
keys
we
right there.
physically went and
you
got the
grabbed
keys.
him? Like you went with him?
Yes, I
saw
was
him
with
pick him up?
him. Yes.
So after she got back from her road trip to Key West, I remember talking
It wasn't to
about
Key West, it was the Keys. But go ahead.
I didn't interrupt her, did I? Nope, I sure did. I remember talking about it as an idea that she was presenting to me. And at the time, I was completely resistant to. I was like, what are you talking about? That sounds crazy. It's a no for me. So my higher self also was telling me at the same time that if you resist this, if you resist it, you will push her more towards that situation. And so I decided that I had to let things play out. But that wasn't before I interjected and was like, everything he's telling you is bullshit. And none of that's really going to ever happen the way he says it's going to happen. And so, I tried to give her a little bit of what I know about men and how we'll say anything to get what we want. So, but of course, being a woman, she didn't believe me. She thought that I was just trying to bullshit and throw her off course and stuff like that. So I decided that the best course of action was to allow it to implode on its own.
So, yes, I did at least broach the conversation with Jeff. I didn't say what happened. I just was like, I'm talking with him and he's very open to it and he wants to talk about it with his wife. And as Jeff said, he was just going to let it implode. So anyway, that was January, February. April 2015, actually, I left to attend a family event for him and spoke with him at that event, what's going on? What's the status? How's your wife feeling about it? Mind you, he is in a polygamous culture, so this is not like trying to convince a monogamous couple to have a baby. This is a polygamous culture. So basically, he was like, I have talked with her, and she really hasn't come around to it just yet. And me personally, I was like, I can understand that, and I really felt like she just needed some more time. And that we should get our partners together. We should get her together with Letitia and Jeff, and we should all talk about this because She doesn't want to have any more children. Letitia doesn't want me to have a child with Jeff. And we can solve all of that with this plan that I hatched.
It was just, we can solve it with this plan.
Yeah, we can solve this. This is super, like, we have the solution.
Sounds ridiculous.
You know, Heather, she comes back and she's telling me all of this, and she really believed it. And if you know Heather Ferdinand, when she believes something, you almost can believe it too.
That's right.
But it wasn't feeling right that we were all gonna come together to do this. It just it didn't feel like that's how it was gonna work out.
I was being optimistic.
And it didn't.
Naive is more like it.
Behind the camera.
Yeah.
So as Jeff alluded to, he was constantly like, man, everything he's telling you is a lie.
Yeah.
He don't love you.
Yeah.
He never loved you.
Yeah.
He not having a baby with you. And he for damn sure ain't told his wife nothing. And I was like, I could not believe that. I was like, Jeff, you don't know Akwesi. You don't know him. He is very respectable. He is a leader in the culture. He would never lie to me. And he has always loved me the way that I have loved him. Yes. Fairy tales and bullshit. Yeah. Whether it's fairy tales and bullshit or not, at the time, I was like, Jeff, you don't know Akwesi, and I am going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove to you that I was right. I genuinely felt like, at the very least, he had talked to his wife. And so I decided to call her.
Yes. Oh my God, just remembering.
I decided to call her on speakerphone with Letitia there, just so that Letitia could be privy to the conversation.
And be a witness too.
Right, she could bear witness. She doesn't know Letitia's there. She doesn't know Letitia's there. And so, in short, she was like, first of all, she does know me.
Yeah.
But she was like, I don't know, my husband has not talked to me about anything regarding you. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, you're just some childhood friend.
Yeah. So, and I'm in the background, I'm like, she lying.
Look. Wait.
I'm getting hyped.
Right.
Sorry.
Letitia jumps up.
Yeah.
And she like, that bitch lying. She lying. I can hear it. Yeah, so Letitia's performing in this piece.
Quietly.
Yeah, no, quietly. She's quietly performing, like literally quiet. She's like a mime. She's like a mime that has gone off the radar. So anyway, I'm like, okay, whatever. So I hang up with her. I call him. I'm to say I'm hurt is such an understatement. I'm hurt. I'm deflated. I'm shocked. And I'm asking him. I'm like, I just talked to your wife, and she said she doesn't know anything about me. Meanwhile, he's not really hearing what I'm saying because he's just upset that I called his wife. Yeah. So we're going back and forth. And I'm like, I tell you what, if you don't call her on three-way with me right now so I can get clear about what's happening, I'm going to be sure to tell her all about our rendezvous in the Keys, because clearly you have not.
Crazy.
So we go back and forth some more, and he's like, let me call her first, and I'm going to call you back. I'm like, all right, bet. So I hang up. Me and Letitia, we talking, yeah. But I'm waiting on him to call back. Letitia starts back up. She's confirming everything. And I think, both of us obviously were really disappointed, but yeah. How did you feel in the moment?
I was angry because this is a man who is in the culture, is respected in the culture. We're in like our 30s at this point. And what are we playing these games for? Like, man up.
Man up.
Y'all see how they be plotting against me?
So he calls back.
Yeah.
And he says, real plain, my wife and I aren't interested.
Yep.
Bet. So the pain is really palpable for me. But I could deal with it. It's fine. Like, all right, we were real. Jeff comes home from work and I'm in the front. And I tell him, I talked to Akwesi's wife,
So she had this huge Kool-Aid smile on her face.
and I asked him, "Do you want to know what she said?" To which he replied,
Nope. And then I walked in the room.
"Yes, he did."
People, I already knew what she said. I told her what she was gonna say before she said it.
Yes, he did. And so, the moral of my story is that I played myself. Just like that. Just like that. Believed him. He was a liar. And it really made me have that much more respect for Jeff. And it really solidified for me that this idea that this was my soulmate from childhood was literally fairy tales and bullshit.
Non-resistance worked out in my favor, which I knew that it would have, and I knew that it would have done the opposite had I resisted the situation.
Yep.
Because sometimes you got to be in jeopardy of losing something
Yeah.
to really appreciate it.
Yeah. Which, that's how you felt.
That's exactly how I felt.
So, talk about that.
So that brings us to the catalyst to coming out,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
And this situation was the last thing to happen before we decided, okay, we have to come out, we have to move forward with our life, regardless to what anybody might think or say or, gossip about. And so that's what we decided to do.
So, yeah, as Jeff said, he allowed it to unfold because he's psychic and he knew that if he just didn't resist, that it would allow the situation to implode, and it did.
But I never said I told you so until right now.
Yeah, he's been happily saying it as we are recording this. But also, yes, I played myself. Hey, I can admit to it. Just like that. Swoosh, 3-pointer. And at the end of the day, despite that, it really created a catalyst for us coming out of the closet. So I didn't have to be chained anymore, and we could start preconception planning, which was the whole purpose of me reaching out to Akwesi anyway.
Yeah, that's right. It sparked what you now know as Bae and J.
Yeah. Well, no, we were before them, but
Well, yes, but we were in the closet.
we were in the closet.
Yeah, we
But
busted
so,
out of the closet.
You realized that, it was a catalyst because ultimately Jeff really realized that he could no longer deny me something that was so important.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't in good conscience tell her no, she couldn't have something that she had waited years of her life for. And if I wanted to be the person in her life, then I couldn't deny her that anymore.
Yeah. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to part 3 of 4 in this 4-part series, Cheating, the Tripod series, about our history of infidelity and how we evolved from it, and how really it was because of those experiences, what we each learned in those experiences, and how we adapted in our relationship because of those experiences, that we really strengthened the relationship that we have today, and why it really is so much more unbreakable than it ever was before.
All right, y'all have heard it all about how each one of us has had our own cheating and infidelity experiences, and now with open communication, we can confirm,
With
signed, sealed, and delivered.
Signed, sealed, delivered, baby.
There will never
Never
be another cheating experience in this tripod.
We shan't.
No.
They so dramatic.
We know
So,
better.
yeah.
You know better, you do better.
So don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this video, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, and stay tuned for the final episode in our 4-part series, where we're gonna kind of do a reunion style and answer even more questions about all the little details that we shared in these last 3 episodes. So, Jeff?
Yeah, so since we're going to do an episode reunion style, make sure you comment down below and let us know what kind of questions you want answered on this next episode.
We can't wait to hear what y'all have to say about these infidelity experiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we can look back at them now and really laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know, and really know that we're all here for each other. Because I think the biggest piece that I took away from this, the fact that each of us had one cheating experience, is that so many people end their relationship after one.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you don't want to stay in a relationship with someone that is a habitual cheater.
No.
But at the end of the day, we're all human and we all make mistakes. And you could really be losing the love of your life just for holding it against them and not being open to really finding the root of it.
That's right. Because regardless if you end that relationship and you move into another relationship, I can guarantee you that you will make a mistake at some point, and you'll need grace as well.
Yeah. Yep. So we hope y'all had a lot of takeaways. We are looking forward to all the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. And thanks so much for joining your favorite tripod as we discussed cheating, the tripod series.
That's right. We're being vulnerable for y'all and just open, and we're going down memory lane. And honestly, some of this stuff invokes feelings,
Yeah.
but thinking back on it, but I can tell you that it also brings us closer together.
Yeah.
Because this is something we're doing together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree. Yep. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Till next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.